But let's go ahead and get into what we were supposed to do about 20 minutes ago, which is the comic. So let's go in right into it. We're going to... This isn't exactly how I planned to do the review, so bear with me if it's a little bit slow-paced or odd. But in any case, here we have the My Little Pony issues 11 and 12, which is how Cadance met Shining Armor. Truly a great story, epic for its times. It screams freaking 1980s anything that has to do with high school.
Is. I just skimmed over it. I was like, oh my dear lord, it's every 1980s movie ever jammed into one fucking thing.
I know, but we're not going to judge it based...
It did well enough. I'll just say that, like, I didn't put the full time. I was actually skimming through it during the beginning of the show here, because unfortunately, you know, he gave me the comics. I passed out shortly. Like I said, I didn't wake up until roughly 20 minutes before showtime.
But we're not going to judge it based on the fact that it's obviously based on 1980s movie.
Y'all can get fucked. It's one of my favorite comics of all time.
No, I'm not going to judge it based on the image, because in all honesty, this comic...
Hey, Dipswit, we didn't say it was bad, now did we?
We just said...
and I'm giving y'all shit.
Alright, but let's go ahead and actually go...
Hey, Jared, go walk through that door for us.
Now,
I will.
The first thing we're going
to
do...
have a good time.
Okay, let's go ahead... We're going to go ahead and give a brief synopsis of what exactly happens in this comic, because some of you may have not read it yet. And at this point, yes, this is spoiler warning, but this comic has been out for almost 2 years. Really. Yeah. If you have not read it at this point, what are you doing here?
Your own damn fault.
Exactly. If you haven't read it at this point, either mute yourselves or figure it out, because you're gonna hear it anyway. So here we go. Now this one is done. This one was written by Katie Cook and arted by Andy Price, or was it the written by Katie. Art by Andy Price, and Andy Price always has the really funny art that's a little more cartoony and expressive than the other artists, which is always a delight to see. I always enjoy his crazy cockamamie art. Now, as the comic starts, of course, we got our main six over in Canterlot enjoying some tea with Cadance and Shining Armor as they are visiting. Of course, finally, the big question comes up. It's been about a year since their wedding, so they're celebrating the anniversary. Of course, anniversary in a tea cake shop, which basically sells minuscule portions. Who knows? But they finally ask, how did they meet? You think they would have asked before the wedding? Or maybe they got slapped when they tried to, I don't know. But yes,
maybe there were changelings going on.
Maybe there were changelings going on. So, yes, almost everybody's interested, and Shining Armor begins the story at Canterlot Academy. Of course, this is when we realize real fast this is a high school story. This is also when I realized I should probably go ahead, drop the bug. Well, I'm not going to drop the Trixie bug here, but I am going to zoom in the image here a little bit so we can see a little bit more. There we go.
Oh, damn it, wait, what was...
A bit too much.
Now I just realized one of the references I completely forgot. Where it's actually supposed to be from. But, fuck, what was Rydell High?
Rydell High? No, not... I don't know about Rydell. I was thinking Ridgemont for a second there.
Because, the ruined Rydell... I swear there's a Rydell High.
Huh.
This is gonna bother me. Is that Saved by the Bell?
Actually, what does it Saved by the Bell?
Yeah, it might be.
Maybe. Actually, Saved by the Bell was another one of the things that came to my head the moment I saw this. Actually, here's the one thing that blew my mind. Shining Armor, who throws his wife off a balcony, who trains the basically the Crystal Pony Olympic team, is a nerd.
Yeah, man, he's exactly like me.
No, he's cool, you're not.
No, he's a nerd. He's a straight up nerd.
Nerd.
Alright, but yes.
He's a nerd.
No, he got cool, you're still a nerd.
But yes, he was a nerd. He was in a group of nerds, and of course, with every 1980s movie, you have to have an antagonist, which is basically the over-steroided jock jerk-off rich prep boy. His name is Buck, but we're gonna call him Biff. Because let's face it, he's Biff. He's Biff. In any movie ever, for this kind of stuff, he's Biff. We're just gonna call him Biff from now on. So Biff here, Obviously, big old jerk off, having to be the bit, have a nice trip, you nerd. You're such a nerd. Yeah, obviously he abuses the nerds because he has low self-esteem, and he sucks. Of course, we always have to have that person, and of course, with any blah blah in 1980s movie sitcom, you have the princess or the queen or the nice girl, the one beautiful girl that somehow shines upon the nerds, showing them faith, compassion, and kindness. This is the girl we all start.
She's not a bitch.
She's not a bitch. This is the girl we start looking for and realize probably doesn't exist when we actually enter high school. Well, actually, no. Some of the girls are pretty good, but good luck dating.
I like how the borders are either pencils or various quote-unquote books for this particular page.
It is an awesome little show there. It's also kind of hilarious how Shining Armor completely loses his mind as he sees his little angel right there in front of him.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yep.
To so much that she even asks if he's lost his mind.
Are you seeing straight, sir?
Yes. Of course, stereotypical Biff has went away. Cadance says hi, and then the bell rings. So now we have seen everybody. We have our protagonist and his friends, our antagonist, and the girl that they are both going to fight for. Obviously, you know who's going to win this one, but let's find out what happens, huh? So...
Yeah, we already know the adventure now. Time to see the journey.
And it's a hell of a journey. So,
I like that line that you're an idiot.
Yeah.
It sounds like something to say to all of you guys, because you all are.
Of course, the looks that they give him are pretty much the same as any person that ever gets starstruck like that in high school.
Yeah, but by the way, in this first shot of them in the basement, you gotta believe that the thought process here was, "Hey, you got any Mountain Dew?"
Yes, deep in the basement.
It's in the fridge.
Yes, deep in the basement, where our heroes.
Wait, what?
There any girls there? I want to do them.
Alright. But yes, in the basement, we have our D&D campaign going on, where they slowly become the pawns of El Diablo. Of course, we are now introduced a little bit more to our hero and his friends. Of course, we already know Shining Armor. We also have Poindexter, the man with the glasses. We have 8-Bit, who actually runs the campaign as much the Dungeon Master, and Gaffer. I really don't know what Gaffer means other than...
Actually, I think Gaffer's the one running the campaign.
I couldn't tell them apart, really. I just barely got the names in general.
Well, let's see, because I can tell from here, because he's saying...
Oh yeah, 8-Bit is...
He's like, hey, 8-Bit, and the guy with the Mohawk is like, here you go.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I got it reversed. Okay, so Dapper is their D&D expert, and obviously 8-Bit is their gaming expert. So, between them all, we have the science nerd, the tabletop nerd, and the video game nerd. And Shining Armor, who is just a nerd.
As far as we can tell.
As far as we can tell. Well, he's a nerd with a heart of gold, apparently. We'll call him Goldie. Goldie nerd. Anyway, and apparently he does what... Let's see. So, they start talking. What is he... Apparently realizing that Shining Armor has completely lost it and not even paying attention. Of course, Shining Armor is playing the Paladin. I couldn't resist... That one was... Admittedly, I kind of found that a little hilarious.
It also makes sense.
It makes perfect sense, which is kind of hilarious. I would figure they just throw him Knight or something, but nope, they went with the Paladin.
Just look at this! Oh my god! Look at the old washer machine dryer press behind them.
Oh wow! I did not see that.
Wow, that got me. I actually should have seen that coming. It's like, oh my god! Like you don't see those unless it's in old skits and shit like this.
Yeah, but yes,
fucking Tom and Jerry shit.
But yeah, like any old 1980s movie cliche, he is deeply in love with the girl next door. That's it! Why, damn it, didn't I think of it before? She's the girl next door! So
yeah,
yes.
really, technically.
Wait, what? Fuck you, that was never the girl next door for me. God damn it.
It's the cliche. Actually, it was for me, but that's a whole nother story. But yes, he's in love with the girl next door, and he wants to make her his. course, obviously, in the romantic, I love her so much that I want to
said
be
the
with
villain
her.
is that she shall be mine. It's more like, oh man, I really want this chick.
Actually, he kind of gets a little bit into the she shall be mine as he starts going
Well,
a little bit.
He's on a bit of a tirade at the moment. He is.
By
He
the way,
is
go
suffering
back-
from the
before
syndrome
movie
of
post-
love at first sight.
Okay, I saw the Star Trek 2 reference. What were the other two references on the wall back there?
Blade Runner and Highlander.
Okay.
How did I? Never mind. Of course I know that stuff. And of course, Poindexter has to point it out. There are a lot of dances in this place, aren't there? Just like there's a lot of singing in Ponyville at random reasons.
Yeah, right.
But yes, he dreams of having them together, and I'll give him credit. It is kind of funny to see the little 8-year-old crayon drawing there.
Because he's out of it.
Yeah, he's completely gone.
Yeah.
So our friends realize that if they don't get him laid, he's never going to focus again. So they might as well go ahead and do it. So Gaffer, sorry, I keep forgetting his name in all honesty. It took me forever to find Gaffer's name in this. Gaffer comes up with a diabolical plan, or a brilliant plan, or a little bit of both. Of course, they want to get him together with the girl, so they come out with their 3-step process. All the while, Shining Armor is slowly sinking into that area where you have to wonder, what the hell? I mean, seriously, this is almost to the point of stalking right there. I mean, look at that. He's looking at that figure a little too closely, isn't he?
He is out of his mind. Luckily, he gets a good old whack to the head.
Thank you. Yes, this is why you need friends nearby, so they can smack you before you actually do something on YouTube that you regret forever.
Leave Brittany alone! Sorry.
Yes. But yes.
That's immediately what jumped in my
But
head.
yes, Gaffer has come up with a 3-step plan, finally explaining it to Shining Armor, who slowly is awake. The 3-step plan is simple. You say hi and talk to her, show a grand display, and finally win the kingship at the dance. Talk about escalating quickly.
Well, that just escalated quickly.
Oh, yes. And what better way to do it than to have Cadance come in full sit Twilight Sparkle? That's right. It's because of his friend's planning and his infatuation that Twilight ended up having a babysitter.
Yeah. I also like how even though flugelhorns weren't introduced until the Crystal Empire came back in the show, apparently they were a thing.
Yeah. And this is where Shining Armor unfortunately keeps dropping into the nerd scale because he's got a flugelhorn recital. Dear God.
Oh, so he's the band nerd. Got it!
Yeah, he's probably the band nerd. Or the
Like
music.
I said, exactly like me.
Yeah, he's not cool. So.
But yes, he finally sees the object of his affection, and he's officially lost his mind once again. And of course, Twilight Sparkle has nothing better to do than to drive him up the wall with it. But he does come up with a grand display, and finally mutters, "Hello!"
Hello! Hello!
Which has officially become a giant meme that is played forever. Seriously, you
It
can.
has the best face ever.
Yes.
Just fuck.
Actually, I really like the smooth face that Twilight gives right after that.
Because even she knows.
Yeah. And the Cadance face is just priceless there. Just like, what was that? But yeah, Shining Armor finally says hello, and that's all he says, and that is his great... Oh, well, yeah, that's his great talking to her, apparently.
Yeah, right?
So step 1 completed, and they go on to step 2, which somehow we really have no idea how in the world they did this. They got a float up. For Shining Armor for Keen. Go.
Oh, wait, real quick. Am I the one bothered by Gaffer's design? Like it just looks like he just has socks on all the time.
Is that... Oh, I never really noticed. Huh. Maybe he does.
No, I do. I know I know there are horses that have coloring like that, but
Yeah.
it's
It does give the appearance, though.
Yeah, just when it's drawn like this, it looks like he's just wearing socks all the time for no reason.
Alright, and his grand gesture is apparently riding on a float, describing his abilities about having no abscesses his whole junior year, except one, and a 12th level paladin. His parents would be so proud.
Oh, lordy.
And they are also going to do a grand musical number. And apparently Gaffer is really enjoying this a little too much. This is a great idea. We're going to write a float.
Hey, at least he's just an excited individual.
Yep. And they are getting ready, and it becomes a combination of Revenge of the Nerds and something else. I'm sure. But yes, we see the epic power ballad of Shining Armor.
Let's see, Shining Armor. Fuck. Gosh, the Shining Armor is one of the ones in this shot that I can't fucking figure out for some reason.
Kind of looks like Freddie Mercury to me.
Is it Freddie Mercury?
Well, a little bit-ish. The
Yeah,
one thing,
obviously, you got 8-Bit being doing the Devo thing back there.
yeah. The one thing that is driving me up the wall, though, is the song that he's singing right there. It reminds me of that crazy song that you hear once in a while, like, I love little girls, they make me feel so good. It's like, I'm just thinking, oh dear world, this is a couple of words away from being way wrong.
I'll keep it here in shot to be able to hear what you guys are talking about.
Right. But yes, Shining Armor sings this wonderful power ballad, and it brings Cadance to tears. So we don't know out of happiness or the ear-squealing ear rape. But amazingly enough, it actually is quite the display, including fiery castle pulpits and cowbell. Actually,
By the way, anybody notice the little vinyl scratch as she gets her cutie mark as a result of it?
yeah. You also see Vinyl Scratch just standing there enjoying the display as they are literally rocking out in, I don't know what in the world they're, actually, I swear.
Actually, Poindexter here, that is a Boy George outfit.
Ah.
That is Boy George.
Any idea on Gaffer there?
That one, oh, that's the other one that I swear I should know that one.
It reminds me of something else, but it's not music related, that's for sure.
Fucking shit. Who would that be? It's not Phil. It wouldn't, because let's see, he's playing xylophone, so I want to say percussion. So might be a Phil Collins reference.
Maybe Phil Collins. I don't know. Anyway, good luck with the references there. But yes, the whole image is a spectacle galore and also Vinyl Scratch. You can see the little Philly scratch there. And people start to clap and cheer, and then Biff has to be a jerk. Of course, Biff it manages to get everybody, instead of having him smack him for being stupid, he just says they're a bunch of geeks and everybody starts laughing. Apparently the power of the laughter causes the entire float to explode. And also, Shining Armor starts to basically just has entire self-esteem destroyed. Seriously, wow. When you got the entire stands laughing at you and calling you dorks, that's that's something wrong there. But yeah, you can go ahead. It goes on. Shining Armor tried his grand display, and now he is being told he must slay the dragon. So over the night, Shining Armor takes a knife, and we never see Biff again. Goodbye, Biff, and he wins. Story's over. Alright, moving along here to the actual thing. They start to plot for the last bit. Of course, they've had the grand display. They've had the talk. What else is there left except to defeat Biff at the dance? Or not. Actually, they're going to try to get revenge on Biff instead. So, what do? Biff has a major sports game going on. And of course, he thinks that by being great at sports, he will get the fair maiden, and everybody will love him, which is pretty true, except in this case, a comic. It's not supposed to be, so boo Biff. Boo Biff.
Yeah, fuck me.
By the way, okay, Circuit, I went ahead and just did some searching around.
Too.
I found the list of all the illusions, basically references.
That's just one thing. That, instead of
here's
usual
the
sports, they go with polo because I don't know if ponies have football.
Well, actually, it was better than in 1980s. They used to do highlight. Actually, highlight as a sport that everybody was playing. It's like, what the hell?
What is highlight?
Exactly.
I've never fucking heard of that.
It's like running with a baseball in a freaking fishnet. best way to.
Oh,
describe
I know what it is. Yeah, I've seen it before.
Yeah.
But okay. But here's what it says. Page 12 feature, and you're gonna like this. Features Shining Armor singing lyrics to a song similar to Oingo Boingo's "Little Girls."
Ah! I knew it.
Also, apparently he's dressed in a style similar to Adam Ant is what he's supposed to be.
Oh wow.
What was the song? So a single goody two shoes. Wait,
what?
what song is that? Goody two shoes song.
I'm not even. The only Adam Ant I know was a cartoon. Adam Ant.
I'll have to look up that song. Let's see.
But who are the others? Real
Let's
fast.
see. Of course, yeah. 8-Bits Devo. Poindexter's Boy George. Yep. Wait. Where's the other one?
Gaffer.
Poindexter synthesizer. Poindexter scene wearing his cowbell. Wait, really? Was he not a reference or what?
Maybe they couldn't place it.
What?
They can't place Gaffer. Nobody knows who was the musician Gaffer was supposed to be styled under.
Nah, I didn't see the page long enough.
Yeah. It's just like a tank top and some weird jeans and stuff. It's hard to describe.
He's got like suspenders and.
Well,
80s.
any case, we'll get it figured out a little bit later.
Ordered a cup of
Right now,
artists.
we got the nerds trying to take revenge against the jock by sabotaging his great croquet game, and they fail horribly.
They still fuck it up though.
Oh no, they really mess it up, but not in the good ways. Because apparently everything they do doesn't exactly stop Biff from winning. It actually makes him win harder. To the point where they basically even try. Actually, here's the one thing: Poindexter apparently dresses up as a cheerleader and to try to woo them, which kind of works. How does that work? Anybody? Anyone? Anything?
I'm sorry, I was just looking up the song.
But yeah, it really messed up stuff there. But yeah. Poindexter, not Poindexter, Biff apparently keeps winning, so they're finally going to try an exploding mallet. They swap out the mallet, he takes a swing, and the mallet head falls off and starts giving massive fireworks while he scores another goal, winning 7-0. Now that is how you don't sabotage. So Shining Armor says it doesn't matter who wins or loses. He's going to go and try to ask her out anyway. He looks for her. He tries to find her. And she was just asked out by Biff. So Shining Armor slowly succumbs to tragedy. He shacks up with a waitress and lives a lonely, miserable life while Biff has a loveless marriage.
Which we all know is false because we know how the story ends.
Well, we all know how it ends. We just don't know how it continues. So, yes.
I have to say, though, her friends kind of threw her into it, though.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. But we'll get to that in a moment.
Things where your friends, oh, he's so popular, you should go with you.
Yeah. But yes, apparently Biff has asked her out successfully. Shining Armor's dreams are crushed. And now everybody cries in sadness. And Pinkie Pie states the obvious, it can't have ended that way because you're married. No shit. So, what's going to happen? We don't know. We got to wait until next issue, which we will get to just about now. Of course, there's also a little side story that they have with Shining Armor and the pencils on the knights. Da-da-da, this happens, that happens. The one thing that I couldn't help but see is Poindexter dressed up as a girl. I'm starting to sense a theme here. Anyway, moving right along here. So, that one is done. Now it's time for Shining Armor to come and try again. He must conquer. Love must conquer all. How is it going to happen? Apparently, Shining Armor didn't get the whole story.
Right.
Yes, apparently Cadance actually has a little bit more to the Shining Armor story, and he begins to take over. Of course, at this sniting of Twilight Sparkle telling him to shush up. And immediately after Shining Armor leaves, Cadance looks like she's about ready to fart or something. That look is just amazing right there. She's just got the lip biting thing, all the weird craziness there. And then immediately threatens Twilight to try to figure out how to get Shining Armor to like her. So we find out that Twilight Sparkle is a dastardly mastermind. And immediately comes up with graphs of different ways that Cadance can use to win Shining Armor's affection. Including... but before she could just tell him, Cadance swears her on an oath never to tell. Which apparently Shining Armor never found out and almost beat the crap out of his sister for it. So apparently Cadance saw the grand display and loved every bit of it. Of course, she probably figured it was for her.
The screen's frozen for me for some reason.
Oh, please don't say everybody's frozen. So
Gotta
yes.
love how when she reacts, she spreads her wings and you see her heart popping out of her chest.
Yeah, instant
It's
wing
the
boner.
old comic bit.
Wing
Fucking
boner,
hell.
done. But yeah, everybody's clapping. Biff is a jerk, and everybody runs off. So what happens now? Cadance is supposed to go to the dance with Biff. Her girlfriends come up to help her dress up, and she finally reveals, "I don't want to go with Biff. Biff's a jerk," which everybody says, "Duh."
Yeah, they all know he's a jerk. They just figure he's cute. He's got money.
Yes, of course
That's
the
not
girls.
a good reason, people.
Yes, the girls are shocked. How could they not want Biff? They would want Biff. Why can't she want Biff? But she wants Shining Armor. But Biff is amazing and captain of the polo team. And, well, what can you do? And
By the way, Purple Rain reference.
Yeah, right?
Wait, where? Huh?
The album she's holding.
Ah. Oh, yeah, I see it. Magenta Rain, huh? But yes, Cadance finally pointed out the obvious to the two girlfriends there. If she goes after Shining Armor, Biff can be one of theirs. So they finally decide to help her out.
Yeah.
Along with
Sorry, actually, okay, you don't have to go back for it, but I just realized in a frame before that, before the Purple Rain reference, there's a reference to the Human League. I forget what their song was. Was that what?
Oh, I see it right there, the Equine League.
Yeah. What was their song?
I have no idea. I've never actually heard their music. But yes, Cadance's friends agree after trying to eat a picture of Biff. Seriously, what the hell?
I think they're just trying to take it from one another.
Yeah, you also got...
Mine.
And just to point him out, since Suki's been pointing him out here, you also got Bruce Springsteen and Stallions at Work references.
Wait a minute, dude, no. Wild Stallions.
Wait, what? Where?
Wild Stallions, right there, in the back.
Yeah.
That's it. That's, let me see.
I see it. Oh yeah, it's in the...
Wild Stallions.
oh yeah, and the new Full Titans.
Let's see.
Got the Teen Titans reference right there too.
Oh, that's what the song I remember from Human League is. Let's see. Does this one play?
Oh damn it! Now I know that song. Really, that was theirs?
Yeah.
Huh? Go figure.
That was,
Anyway, yes. So now Shining Armor and his nerd friends come together. They will not be back down just yet. So now we get a little bit of back and forth with both of them. Both their friends are plotting. They will get the two together, come hell or high water, because the girls want Biff and the guys just want Shining Armor to get some, so he'll finally concentrate on the game, on their book RPG.
dude, people don't realize we nerds, we are serious about our D&D, man. We will do whatever it fucking takes.
Now we used to be serious about the D&D. Now we're serious about Grand Theft Auto 5.
That's true.
Yep. And now we see Princess Celestia finally handing Cadance down to the stairway. And of course she's going to meet Biff, and immediately Biff gives a great example of how big of a jerk he is. Immediately crushing the armed guard, leaning against Celestia. basically already calling himself family, and is doing the equivalent of saying, "Come along, toots."
And of course, Celestia with the absolute perfect reaction. Ditch him the first chance you get.
Yes, and me wondering why in the world she just didn't banish him to the moon right there. I mean, the moment he leaned on Princess Celestia like she was a freaking prop.
That should have been to the moon!
That hurt. That hurt everything.
Sorry.
Alright. You better be. But yes,
I am.
Yep. But yes, Shining Armor finally gets cleaned up, and they are off to the dance. And we also see a reference to 1980s Cheer Lee and also Mayor Mayor.
Yep.
I believe that.
Oh right, that's what I was looking for. These top 10 songs. So, oh, never mind. That's not.
Let's see. And apparently the music is by Stallions Without Hats, Quarter Horse, Nightshade, and the Shadowettes with disc jockey, with our own disc jockey.
I can't figure out what the hell Quarter Horse is supposed to be a reference to.
A third LP.
What?
I was
Look
looking
at
the
my
song.
horse. My horse is
That is
amazing.
this jockey's name?
Hold on. And speaking of my horse, now we got Poindexter in another dress. At this point, I have to honestly wonder if Poindexter might actually be interested in something else. In which case, go with what you like. But dear world, man.
Yeah.
Actually, LSK and Pony Man.
What kind of gift? What does fucking Gaffer have over him to keep making him dress up like that? What does he have over him?
Actually, I don't know. But
Maybe he wants to feel pretty.
Actually,
I
no.
don't think he wants to feel pretty. That's
No,
not
the
the
chap-
person who
I
wants to
think
feel
how progressive Cadance was. In the very next frame, where she says, "She looks lovely. She totally respects Poindexter's wish to be a woman."
Nice. Well, either that or she knows that that's their way of trying to get Cadance away from Biff. Either case, yeah, there's definitely a lot of questions about it. The funny thing is, apparently, some people actually. Wait, is that Carrot Cake?
Where? Wait, the guy. Oh. Wait, no, wasn't that Buck's lackey?
It might be. I don't know what to think of this. You know what? I will respect Poindexter's choice, but chat room pretty much says it explicitly. I don't know what to think of this. It's hilarious.
Yeah. You know what? How this is described? Oh, look, the Y boner is back.
There we go. So yes, Cadance sees that Shining Armor is actually with his friend and is actually not dating anyone. Cadance realizes he's completely free and immediately gives Biff the friend zone talk.
with the pat pat.
Yes, the friend zone talk, including with patting him on the head. Yes. That is pretty much the expression when you are immediately shoved into the friend zone when you think you've actually gotten the girl. Of course, Biff never had her to begin with, but Biff is apparently delusional.
Exactly.
And Cadance goes off to get Shining Armor away from apparently a Poindexter who's gotten picked up by another Fifth Alien. And Cadance's friends immediately jump in to try to tag team Biff. Biff, instead of seeing that he could have two mares for the price of one, immediately realizes, yes, Shining Armor and Cadance have a thing for one another, and does its stereotypical 1980s overroided jock stereotype douchebag, and tries to go after them to punch their lights out. You suck. Of course, that is the point. We're supposed to hate his guts.
But once he starts to take off to get his vengeance, that's when Shining Armor's buddies make their move.
Yep. Shining Armor's buddies jump in and they start to poke at him, prod him, tease him, distract him, do everything they can to keep him away, while Cadance and Shining Armor slowly begin to hook up. Including poking sneezing powder,
Itching powder.
let me say it how I want. Okay, itching powder. And
actually, we did. I forgot. Yeah, right here we find out why Poindexter was put in the dress.
oh yes, because he never gave Gaffer back his replica. Oh, so the whole point, Gaffer has apparently been dressing Poindexter up in dresses because he's never got his Battle-Ath sword.
I still feel pretty. You can't take that from me.
I told you, maybe he wanted to feel pretty.
Well,
Nobody believed me.
Everybody should feel pretty on their prom night. But yes, the friends keep distracting, but unfortunately Biff finally gets away, and he looks about ready to murder. Of course, the old sea hag of the school, I mean the principal of the school, has finally come up to announce the Queen and King.
By the way, anybody catch the Carrie reference?
Wait. Oh, skip it. Oh, that's all. Of course, that's a joke between them trying to stop the big ugly guy there. They're not trying to... Well, no, they could probably dunk him if he was king, but... Yeah, I got the little Carrie reference there. And they announced the Queen and King. The Queen obviously goes to Celestia, and the Fall King goes to, no surprises, Biff.
When you said Queen Circuit, I think you said Celestia by accident.
Queen Cadance, damn it. Alright. But yes, Biff obviously has to be the stereotypical 80s jerk-off jaghole, and immediately starts to give his smuggest grins that he is the king. Of course, the principal saying everything we've all thinking, the arrogant little... Yes. And they attempt to dance... But Shining Armor finally gets his balls together and tells him he sucks. About bloody time, because shortly afterwards, the entire school turns on Biff, and he's immediately dethroned faster than any king in history.
By Cadance herself, as she takes his crown and gives it to Shining Armor.
Okay, now you're chiming in a little too much there, Sonic.
Oops, my bad.
Right. But yes... Well, Cadance does take the crown, but at the same time, a king cannot rule without a kingdom. So yes, everybody says he sucks, he gets dethroned. He's apparently Buck Withers! Actually, that sounds like a space captain for some weird reason. Huh, maybe they kind of did that. A little bit of overachieving space cap, whatever. In any case, now they slap him in a harness, and they launch him into the stratosphere, and apparently electrocute the crap out of him. And nobody cares. We all laugh at his misery. Ha 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 ha. And immediately, we also see Poindexter asking if he can take the dress off, which he still cannot.
Okay, I got them together. Why haven't I leaped, Al?
Okay, yeah, and they also got the other joke going on.
The good old Quantum Leap reference.
Gotta have the Quantum Leap reference. And
Yeah, that's what I like the most about the comic. It ends with that old reference to that old joke, leaping victory.
Yep. And finally, it wraps up with them saying how happy they are, and even Biff. No, he finally calmed down. Buck. We'll give him his name back now. Buck actually shows up and shows that he finally calmed down after he lost all of his hair and probably most of his testosterone.
And probably money.
Also,
look at the hey.
Hey!
What a wonderful kind of day!
And it looks like one of the mares that were after him, after Cadance let him go, was able to score the hunk of man, whatever the hell he is.
Which is funny, because isn't that the Jewel, whatever the hell the name from the Moondance episode?
It might have been, actually.
I think it is.
Huh, go figure.
Comics, they don't have to follow the show.
The comics are basically soft canon, so unless the show directly contradicts them, technically it's canon. So, yep, there you go. That is the comic in all of its glory. Of course, admittedly, I wasn't able to present the comic the way I wanted to, but I was a little bit pressed for time. I literally set this up an hour before the actual show. So, however, while
Yeah, I think we did well enough.
I think we did well enough for our first run here. But before we're not quite done yet. We're going to show off a few of the awesome little comic art images that they had for this thing, because the one thing I love about okay, that did not work the way I wanted it to. Okay,
So you didn't do, you're not showing off the little the little top 10 thing they did for like the MTV reference.
MTV reference.
It was at the end of the second issue.
There was a thing at the second issue. Okay.
Yeah, they did like a top 10 countdown of like it was like MTV songs, and it was all 80s references. Like, okay, I'll just run through it. In fact, let me turn on my light so I can read these better.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll definitely have to reference it. Oh, I see it now. Okay.
Because let's see if you figure out these. Bits for nothing.
Money for nothing and the chicks for free.
This one's really easy. Everypony wants to rule the world.
I'm not even gonna try.
Pony in the mirror.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm looking at the man in the mirror.
I think I've only heard a little bit about that, so that one, fair enough.
Oh, I
I'm
remember
being
that.
strangled by the man in the mirror. Ah! Fucking
Let's see. Hoof loose.
Gotta cut it, hoof loose, hoof loose. Kick
Let's
off
see,
your
number
Sunday
6.
bridle.
Yeah, number 6, the safety prance.
You got prance. You got
And then, of
prance.
course, now we get the actual visual references, too, which really works. So, like, yeah, let's get Tangible by Olivia Newton-Jump.
I'm not going to get into that one. Let's get physical, though.
Crop It by
Let's get physical. Physical.
All right. Yeah.
And then Crop It by Derby.
Uh,
I don't know. I guess it's kind of hard to come up with a horse pun for Devo.
Yeah, right.
well, I'm trying to figure out what the crop it is actually supposed to be.
Whip it.
Oh, whip
Yeah.
it. Duh. Yeah, whip it. Yeah.
Good.
Crop it good. And tack on me.
Tack on me.
Okay, that one's horrible.
Alter.
Tack on me. Oh, when birds cry.
When Birds Cry by Prance.
Yeah. How can they scream at each other? This is what it. All right, and we also got "Never Gonna Give You Up" by Vrain Astley. They actually couldn't come up with a good name for the song, so they changed the artist's name.
Yeah, and then dude, we gotta stay tuned for Ponies at Work Unplugged.
Yeah, right.
All right, but yes, nice little reference there to jokes, and we'll go through the comic covers here. These are some of the ones that I found were a lot the best out of them. This actually had quite a few comic covers. While we talk a little bit about the comic itself and our thoughts on it. Now, the first thing, obviously, what we liked about the comic, this whole comic arc. Personally, I liked it. I liked the 1980s movie reference. I thought it was hilarious. Yes, it's a little bit dated and it's a little bit cliche, but in a comic like this, that's perfect. It's beautiful. I mean, you don't expect something like that. You expect it to be some story about how they're meeting in town, or maybe something like that. And then suddenly you got lockers, you got the book RPG nerds, you got you got a little bit of Revenge of the Nerds, you got a little bit Back to the Future, you got a little bit of Fast Time Ridgemont Hunt, you got a little bit all these stupid cliche things, even Saved by the Bell. You got it all in there, all mixed in like some horrible, gory, wonderful 1980s, 1990s high school mesh of silliness. And it is beautiful.
Agreed, Circuit.
Any case, anybody else have anything to add on to what we liked about that? Now, but we'll get into what we didn't like in a moment here. Okay, nobody else has anything to add?
I liked it.
Yeah, what I would add is basically the same as being, what's also made, like, it's every fucking 80s cliche in right up to the fucking end. It's every single fucking one of those.
Well, not only
Every single one of them. But it might be every cliche. You can see the ending coming a mile away, but it's fun. It's cute. It knows it's a joke.
it knows it's a joke, it plays it up, it just goes through the paces, and it has fun with it, which is always great.
I mean, that's kind of when you have a dumb concept, it's really best to just not take it seriously in the end.
It has fun with itself.
Yeah, you tend to just have more fun with it. Like, you know what? I'll use an example that I recently just went through. The most recent Scooby-Doo movie. Scooby-Doo meets Kiss.
Yeah, that one I can tell you just have don't they just like Power Ranger it at one point or something?
Oh, dude, oh my god, I don't even want to tell you what they do. I'm just gonna tell you to go find it and watch it.
Point taken. Point taken.
It is. I'm sorry. I was laughing my ass off in that movie.
No, don't be sorry. I get it.
I have not had that much fun with a Scooby-Doo movie in a long time.
Alright. Okay, so yeah, there's that silliness there. Now that was what we liked about the comic. What we didn't like. Honestly, I don't have anything.
Nothing. It's like it's just cliche as fuck. But it has fun. It has fun. It's cliche.
Yeah, it's cliched, but it's fun. The characters were.
You can't hate it. It's just stupid fun.
Yeah, the characters were obvious stereotypes, but they were over the top stereotypes. The story, yes, it's the basic 1980s, but it does it just perfectly. I mean, it's hard not to like something that knows it's obviously ripping off everything under the sun, and it just has fun with it and puts a ton of pony and horse references right in the middle of it all. I mean, I think the one thing I could say that okay, you know what? I once was told, if I don't think that was Glitch. No, Glitch is under my feet right now.
That was my cat actually. I'm surprised you heard her through the door.
No, we heard it was like, that's not Glitch.
No, Glitch is under my feet and sleeping peacefully.
That was Ridley.
Yeah.
No. Riley's just getting kind of freaked out because whenever she's left out in the living room right now, basically they still have the fans going, drying out the carpet.
Ow.
So yeah, so she gets by the door and she's like, "Let me in! Let me in! Let me in!"
Ah! Yeah. But yeah, the thing is, there's nothing really bad about the comic. I can't say anything really bad about it. Well, okay, the one thing that is a little annoying is that the little short story that they had with the D&D campaign, it kind of feels abrupt. You know, they had the little campaign, it had a few jokes, and then that was it. At least the top 10, that went all the way to the end, and that was good stuff. It just felt like they cut it off a little bit there, which was a little annoying. That was a little annoying, but that is pretty much the only real down spot to this whole comic. This whole comic arc was beautiful in its hilarity. Now, yes, it wasn't original. It didn't need to be. That's the beauty of it. It didn't need to be.
It was a parody on everything that was funny at the time.
Yep.
And everything that was always going around at the time. And it did its job just fine.
Okay, now the next thing is picking up the fun things we picked up on this comic. All the references. There are jokes abound. You got music references. You got geek references, nerd references. You got a little bit video game references here and there. You can see action figures that resemble the Starship Enterprise. You see characters that are dressed up, or in the background that look like this, that, or the so many freaking background references, which I always love, Andy Price's art on this. Price always does all these little background references and all these little side jokes that, you can easily miss from time to time. But, every time you go through the comic again, you look again, you see another reference you might have missed. It's another thing to explore, another awesome thing to enjoy. And, you can read it several times and still find something new, which is always a great thing for a comic. It's a shame when you got a comic, you can read it once, you see everything, you got the story, you never have to pick it up again. Where's the fun in that? I mean, yeah, you had a great story, you had a good time, and then it's collecting dust forever. Or until you sell it a couple of years later.
That's never fun.
No, I mean, yeah, it's fun for the moment, but it's just fun for one ride. I like a ride that you can keep going back to. Those are always the ones that I enjoy the most. And this comic has it in spades. There are things I didn't even catch the third time I read this that we actually pointed out here. Now, does anything else? Is there anything that that you guys really particularly enjoyed about the comic, or the little jokes, things like that?
I mean, just in general, yeah, the little nuances that you can find, just going through that. I mean,
like the entire thing is just it's in a giant cliche, so it's fun seeing how they pulled off the cliches and how they made it work in pony form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And especially when there really was a very good mix of like really obvious ones that, like, even if these are readers that are that. Oh yeah.
Like I was born early '90s and stuff, and that's when I started getting around that stuff. You know, it's easy for me to pick up on a number of these things, but you know, for newer kids who are seeing some older school movies and shit, they might pick up on some of them.
Yeah, but it's just, you know.
But there's some shit there for the people that are really around for the early '90s and late '80s and shit.
Yeah. I guess even for me, like I was born in '87, but the thing was that, you know, of course
I'm a fucking year younger than you. Holy shit.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just I mean, honestly, when I was growing up, I mean, a lot of time it was there was a lot of MTV watching back when they were still music and stuff. So I remember I ended up seeing a lot of like the old '80s stuff and everything. So it was. So yeah, so pretty much that's one of the reasons why I'm so familiar with a bunch of this shit.
You and me both, man. Of course, it's hilarious every single time we recognize it.
Oh yeah.
All right, and let's see. Are there any final thoughts on the comic that anybody has?
It's good.
Yep, pretty much.
Very good.
It's good. I enjoyed it. If you haven't read it yet, go and pick it up. There's several compilation books now. You can still buy the comics singularly at Amazon or maybe even local comic book stores if they happen to have a back catalog. Get it. It's good stuff. You'll have fun with this. There's no way you wouldn't. You could easily spend hours looking for references. And that, you know, if for a $2-3 comic or $5 depending on where you buy it, I guess in most cases it's going to be about $5 per issue. You know, you're going to have fun with it either way. Plus, this comic does have one little prestige point on it. This was the millionth My Little Pony issue that they made. So yeah, this comic actually got to have the special 1 million 12 comics only have this cover art that we're seeing right here. So there's only 12 of this one in existence.
That's neat.
Yeah. So not only is it has a fun little silly storyline, it was also that comic that happened to break a mile marker for him, or million mile marker, I suppose. And well, that's about it for the comic review. Now, just real fast, I want to ask the chat room what you thought of our little review of the comic itself. Admittedly, everything was a little bit rough draft. I did think I took this as suggestion from the chat room as well as something I was thinking of doing anyway, and I didn't have a whole lot of time to really prep work on it. If you guys thought it was fun, if you think we should do this again in the future, obviously we're not going to do it next week or at least for a few weeks, but you know, if we should do it in the future, your thoughts on that, please post it in the chat. While we're doing that, let's go ahead and get into the next little part, which is commentary. Well, the video portion, actually.
Yep.